Hello guys, welcome back to another video of GOOFS. Today's episode is Troublesome Trucks. And also, as usual, subscribe to the channel, leave a like, turn on the notification bell so you'll never miss another video. Who unsubscribed from me? You didn't do the drill properly. Okay, so we haven't started the episode and there's already a goof. Thomas's eyes are wonky. Thomas's first truck has 7 white stains and 1 red stain on him. The second truck has 15 white stains on him. The third truck has 10 white stains on him. And the last truck has 7 white stains and 1 red stain on him. And the flatbed has 13 white stains on him.
James had not seen the Fat Controller for several days. He was left alone for being naughty, and was not even allowed out to push coaches and trucks in the yard. Oh dear, he thought, I shall have to stay in the shed for always, and no one will see my red coat again. All because I went so fast I made a hole in one of my coaches that had to be mended with, of all things, a passenger's bootlace.
Through that, James's left eye had a gap, and the camera shaked a lot.
At last the Fat Controller arrived.
Which is not looking at James. And there's like a pipe on the top of the shed. Anyway, so the Fat Controller, what are you looking at? You're supposed to look at James.
I see you are sorry, James, he said. I hope now that you will be very sorry, sir, said James. I will try hard to behave. That's a good engine, said the Fat Controller.
There's gaps between his eyes and his face.
I'm very sorry, sir, said James. I will try hard to behave. That's a good engine, said the Fat Controller.
Hang on.
I will try hard to behave.
The camera shakes a lot.
That's a good engine, said the Fat Controller. I want you to pull some trucks for me.
Camera shakes.
James was delighted and puffed away. He ran off, laughing. James, said Thomas.
Okay. There is some sticky tack onto Thomas's lamp, and that foot is gone.
Have you got some bootlaces ready? And he ran off, laughing.
Okay. James's tender is derailed. The camera shakes.
Oh. Ran off, laughing.
There's a gap between his right eye and his face. James's eyes are wonky. His front wheel is derailed. The truck behind James doesn't have any buffers. James's eyes glitter up and down. Okay. And notice how all the Troublesome trucks are coupled up to each other.
Oh.
But now James is shunting one to the train. Did the coupling break?
Oh, said the trucks. We want a proper engine, not a red monster. James took no notice and started. Oh, said the trucks. We want a proper engine, not a red monster.
The camera shakes slightly. The third truck has 2 red stains on him, and the first truck has 2 red stains and 2 white stains on him.
James took no notice and started as soon as...
Okay. So James is outside the station.
Monster. James took...
But now he's inside. And there's a gap between his left eye and his face. He has 7 scratches on his dome.
No notice and started as soon as the guard was ready. Come along, he puffed.
The truck has 11 red stains and 1 white stain on him. Another truck has 2 red stains on him, which is the truck in front of this truck.
We won't
There's this lump on this truck.
scream the trucks, but James didn't care, and he pulled the screeching truck sternly out of the station.
The camera shakes slightly.
Slip on, and sometimes their axles would run hot.
If you looked at the bottom left corner, you could see a shadow of a crew member in the bottom left. I'll show you again.
Sometimes their brakes would slip on, and sometimes their axles would run hot.
Okay, so notice how the first truck has a face. Here,
The trucks tried hard to make him give up, but he still kept on. Sometimes their brakes
he does not have a face.
would slip on, and sometimes their axles would run hot. And each time the trouble had to be put right. And each time James would start again, determined not to let them beat him.
The camera shakes again.
Give up, you can't pull us, you can't, call the trucks. Hill, look out for trouble, James.
James's driver shakes.
His driver, we'll go fast and get them up before they know it. Don't let them stop you. So James went faster, and soon they were halfway up. Will the top never come?
There is a gap between James's right eye and his face.
Then, with a sudden jerk, it all came
A rock fell out of a truck.
easier. I've done it, he puffed. Hooray! It's easy now. But his driver shut off steam. It's easy now. But his driver shut off, running backwards down the hill. The coupling had snapped. But the guard stopped the trucks and got out to warn approaching
Okay,
engines.
so I want you to remember that Edward is not pulling anything.
That's why it was easy.
There's a gap between James's right eye and his face.
Said James as he backed the other trucks carefully down.
His finger starts back to his lips. And Edward's pulling trucks.
What silly things trucks are. There must have been an accident. Shall I help you, James? Called Ed.
The camera shakes slightly.
He struggled up the hill. I can do it.
There's a string pulling James up the hill.
I can do it, he puffed. He pulled and puffed as hard as he could. Puffed as hard as
James's wheels aren't moving. They're kind of sliding on the rails.
he could.
But they are moving now. And they're moving in the backwards direction. There's a gap. There's gaps between James's eye and his face.
I've done it, he panted.
James's driver shakes.
Their station safely, and James was resting in the yard when Edward pulled up. Beep, beep, he whistled. Safely, and James was resting in the yard when Edward pulled up. They reached
There are 2 scratches on James's dome.
their station safely,
2 red
and James was
scratches.
resting in the yard when Edward pulled up. Beep, beep, he whistled.
That water tower wasn't there in the previous shot. Edward's tender chassis is bent.
Then James saw the fat controller. Oh dear, what? But the fat controller was smiling. I was in Edward's train and I saw
The Fat Controller's body moved.
everything, he said.
Hmm.
But the Fat Controller was smiling. I was in Edward's train and I saw everything, he
But why was he pulling trucks?
said. You've made the most troublesome trucks on the line behave.
The first truck has 8 white stains on him, and the last truck has 6 white stains on him.
After that, you deserve to keep your red coat. Line
Jason's left eye has a gap
behave.
between his face and his eye.
After that, you deserve to keep your red coat.
Well guys, that was all the goofs I found in Troublesome trucks. There were quite a lot of them. And as a reminder, subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and turn on the notification bell so you'll never miss another video. See you next time. Goodbye.